Hi, I'm Liz, partner at Fitness for Pilates, and today we're going to be using the bendable. Now, what I love about Fitness Flow is that we use so many different variations of equipment that not only release certain areas of the body, but also can be used to add the intensity and make it that little bit more challenging. So for today, we're using the bendable to isolate the glutes and the core, and we're going to get started. So we're going to start in a standing position, feet slightly further away from the hips. Engage the core, tuck the tailbone under, stabilize the shoulders, and remember, inhale to prepare, exhale on the effort. Remember to keep this belt on around the center at all times to keep that core engaged to protect the back. And we're going to start by taking a nice deep inhale as we lengthen through the body, taking the ball above the head. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the knees, curl all the way down. Curling through the spine, inhale, keeping that generous bend in the knees as you roll through the body. Ball comes up above the head. Inhale, exhale as you bend the knees, curling through the body, coming all the way down. Inhale, coming all the way up, stretching with the ball. And this time as you exhale, bend down, bring the ball in between the knees and just rest the palms on the top of the thighs. Inhale, we're going to lengthen through the spine, sticking the tailbone out. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, curl through the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Remember, the head is an extension of the spine. And exhale, curl all the way under. Removing the ball from the knees, curl through the spine. Inhale, stretch the ball above the head. Exhale, this time curl through the spine, bringing the ball all the way down in between the feet. Make sure you're squeezing into that ball. We're going to start to walk the hands out in front of us, coming into a downward facing dog. Now, don't worry if you can't bring the heels all the way down to the ground. This is your warm up. As you inhale, shift your body weight forwards, coming into a plank. As you find your high plank position, squeeze into the ball to engage the thighs. And exhale, send the hips high, coming into your downward facing dog. Inhale, squeeze into the ball, shift body weight forwards into that high plank. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Keep that nice straight line through the body, and exhale, send the hips high into your downward dog. Start to come onto the fingertips and walk the fingers all the way back to the feet. Take a slight rest here, resting the chest onto the thighs. Remove the ball from the feet and start to curl all the way up to standing, bringing the ball above the head. Now we're going to start in a standing position again, with feet slightly further than hip distance apart. Again, all the Pilates principles, draw your core in, tailbone under. I'm going to take some single squats, bringing the ball in between the hands. So inhale, exhale as you squeeze, sinking the hips back into the heels. Squeeze, pressing into the heels. We're squeezing into the ball, squeezing into the glutes on the way up. I'll show you from the side. Squeeze. So it's almost as we come up, we're squeezing into the glutes, squeezing into the ball. This time, come down, hold, pressing into the heels, squeezing into the ball. We're going to drop, come up halfway, drop, come up halfway. Drop, come up halfway. So we're dropping, pressing back into the heels, squeezing into the glutes, squeezing into the ball, engaging the core to protect the back, stabilizing through the shoulders. Now hold, tiny pulses into the balls, tiny pulses into the back of the heels, squeeze. Tiny pulses, warming up those legs, and hold for 8, just tiny pulses with the arms. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Now we're going to come now into a 10 to 2 position, so the heels are on more of a wide angle. The toes are turning out, so not turning forwards. Again, Pilates principles, tuck the tailbone under. Bring the ball into the center of the chest, and as we sink down, we're going to squeeze. So inhale, exhale. So with this move, we're getting more into the glute med. We're getting into the side of that glute. So we're pressing into the heels as we're pressing into the ball, squeezing into the heels on the way up. Now we're going to come down and hold, wrapping the knees back, tiny little halfway drops. Drop halfway, drop halfway. If the ball extend is too much, bring it into the chest. Drop halfway, drop halfway. As we drop, we're wrapping the knees back to really isolate the glute. So maybe if the ball is in the chest, just hold it and squeeze into the ball. Now we're going to hold tiny pulses. So tiny pulses with the legs, tiny pulses with the balls. Either arms extended or arms into the chest. Tiny pulses, pressing into the heels and wrapping the knees back. This is hard. We're warming up the legs. And hold, arm extended, tiny pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Shake it off. We're going to go back in. So go back into that 10 to 2. All your Pilates principles, ball in the center of the chest. Inhale, exhale, sink. And this time we're going to lift the left heel. Tiny pulses, squeeze into the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay on the toes of that left foot. I'm going to start to rotate on the back toes, coming into a lunge. Readjust if you need to. Bring the ball into the chest if you need to. Singles. 1, 2, 3. Engage the core for your balance. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Can you extend the ball away? Hold into that ball. Can you lift onto the right toes? Hold it here. Can you take tiny pulses? Feel the burn. We won't be here for too long. Can you squeeze into that ball? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower that right heel. Rotate back through center. Lift the right heel this time. Tiny pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the ball back into the chest. Rotate to the other side. Now you see my foot is at an angle here, so I'm going to move it slightly to make sure I've got that nice, strong and solid foundation. Either ball extended or ball into the chest. Singles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Can you extend that ball? Lift the left toes so that you're lifting the left heel, onto the toes. Tiny pulses and squeezing into that ball. We're here for 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And release. Release that off. So you will feel the shake. You will feel the burn with that one, but that's what gets results. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor. So we're coming down into a tabletop position. So knees in line with your hips, wrists in line with your shoulders, tailbone tucked under slightly, engage the core, stabilize the shoulders. We're going to bring the ball underneath the left hand. Now this is optional. If it feels too much, then please remove the ball. I'm going to extend the right leg, and with an inhale to prepare, exhale as you lift, flex through the right foot, lift the right leg. Lift the right leg. So we're going to do 8 of these. Now what you want to watch with this move is that your hips are always parallel to the ground. So when I say that, imagine your hips are like traffic lights. So you squeeze into your glute. Okay, this time, lift, plant the toes, engage the core, and bring the left knee in. Lower the left knee, squeeze into the right glute, lower, tuck the toes, and squeeze the left knee in. This is hard. We're working all areas of our body here. The ball is the extra challenge. Remember your breath. Okay, one more. Okay, and bring the right knee into meet the left. Bring the ball into the center and roll the ball away. Stretch into the upper body, stretch into the back. We're going to go back in on the other side. Inhale, curl through the spine, roll the ball to you. Bring the ball under the right hand. I'm going to go back in for round 2. Okay, so bring the ball under the right hand. Remember all your Pilates principles. Stabilize through the shoulders. We're going to extend the left leg, flex through the left foot. Inhale, exhale, lift. 8 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your glute shake. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Plant the left foot down, tuck the toes. Now this time we're going to bring that right knee in and lift. In and lift. So we're squeezing and bringing that right knee in. Lift. In and lift. In and lift. Just a few more. In and lift. In and lift. Bring that left knee down. Roll the ball away. Enjoy that child pose. Release. Take this chance to connect back to your breath. This is challenging. This is hard. So you will feel you're starting to lose that connection to your body. So that's why we take this break, just to release. And then roll the ball towards you. We're going to come down onto our backs. So bringing the ball underneath the right knee. And we want to make sure that the ball is nice and secure. So we're going to come down onto our back. And we're going to bring the ball under the knee, making sure we've got that nice resistance. So we're squeezing into the ball. Stabilize through the shoulders, engage the core to protect the back. Now when you find you've got that nice squeeze behind the ball, we're going to lower that right knee down to the mat. So you feel that connection, with the ball. You're really squeezing into that ball. Now we're going to roll up into bridge. So if you know your bridge, you know what's coming next. If not, we're going to tilt the pelvis under slightly, engage the core, press through the heels, inhale, exhale, squeeze through the heels, squeeze into the glutes as you lift. And then slowly roll all the way down. Inhale, exhale, squeeze into the heels, squeeze into the ball, squeeze into the glutes and lift. And then slowly come all the way down. 2 more. Tilt the pelvis, squeeze and lift. And then slowly come all the way down. 1 more. Squeeze into that ball, squeeze into the heels. And this time hold it here in your bridge. Squeezing into that ball for resistance, squeezing into the glutes, pressing into the heels. Can you lift your left leg? So you want to shift your weight into your right leg. You want to really feel your glutes switching on. And then point the left toes as you lift, keeping that height in the hips. Extend the left leg to the ceiling, so you're pointing the left toes. If you feel as you lift that left leg, you start to dip, or you feel it in your back, come back to your bridge. Now we're going to slowly lower down, almost as if we're kissing the mat with our glutes, and then squeeze, lift up. So slowly coming all the way down, and lift. Exhale. This is hard. If you feel it in your back, like I said, come back to bridge. Come back to traditional bridge. 1 more. And lift. Can you lower this left leg only to knee height of your right leg and lift it back up? 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift, and slowly lower it all the way down. Keeping the knees bent. We're going to keep the ball behind the knee and roll over onto our left side, coming onto the forearm of our left arm. So when you're on the forearm here, you want to keep that space between the shoulder and the ear. Keep it nice and open, keeping the ball behind the right knee. Now, options to leave the left knee on the mat for an easier way to do this, or if you want to take it more advanced, you can lift that bottom knee, and we're just going to squeeze into the knee. So we're squeezing the knees together and then pushing the knee away. You can bring the right arm up to create space down the side. We're working into the glute, but also into the side of our obliques. So squeeze, 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 squeezing into that ball, squeezing into the glute. Okay, and keep it open here. Keep that knee lifted if you can. Tiny squeezes into the ball. You won't be able to see anything here because the move is so small, but tiny, tiny squeezes into the ball, pushing back slightly just to isolate the glute muscle. So I'm squeezing into the ball. My glute muscle is going like this, contracting. So this is what feels the burn. This is what creates the burn. Okay, just release that ball from behind the knee. Bring the ball to the left hand. Take a nice hamstring stretch. Release that off. Stretching that right leg up to the ceiling. And then take the right knee over the left. roll onto the back of the shoulder and just enjoy your supine twist, stretching through the chest, stretching through the spine. And then roll this right arm back to meet the left. We're going to come back up. We've got the same on the other side. So we're going to come down into that bridge position again, placing the ball underneath the left knee, feeling that resistance. Make sure you've got that nice, comfortable position so you feel that the heel of the left foot is nice and close to the glute. This adds the resistance to the ball. Engage the core so you don't want too much dipping in the back. Okay, press into the heel, inhale, exhale, squeeze into the glutes, tilt pelvis under, push up into your bridge. And then roll all the way down. We're going to go again. Squeeze into the ball, press into the heels and lift. Remember, if you do feel it in your back at any point with that leg lifted, what's coming next, this is your modification. Squeeze into the ball. Now hold it here. Make sure you've got that nice stable position. You're squeezing into the ball. Your glutes are stable and they're secure, protecting your back. Can you lift your right leg? Pointing that leg up to the ceiling. And slowly going to lower down. Kiss the mat with your glutes and then lift. Slowly lower down. Squeeze and lift. Slowly lower down. Squeeze and lift. Slowly lower down, squeeze and lift. Slowly lower down, squeeze and lift. Now hold it here at the top. If you feel you need to readjust, just bring that left heel slightly closer to get your stability. Remember, we don't want to feel this in our backs. Now slowly lower that right leg, just in line with the left knee, and then lift, keeping the toes pointed. And lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift, and slowly lower it all the way down to the mat. We're going to roll onto our right side. Bring the right forearm out in front to protect the shoulder. Remember, we want space here across the chest. We're going to keep that ball in between the left knee, behind the left knee, lifting this right leg off slightly, opening through the chest. Bring this left arm up to the ceiling if you can. And this is called clam. So we're opening and closing the knees like a clam, squeezing into that ball. You will feel tired here. Your glutes will be fatiguing, but this is what gets us results. Squeeze into that ball. Squeeze into the ball. Try not to slump through the right shoulders. Squeeze and squeeze. And squeeze and squeeze. Now hold it open here. Keep that right leg lifted if you can. Tiny squeezes into that ball. Tiny pulses back. This is a small move that isolates the glute. Tiny squeezes. Squeeze into the ball. This is hard. This is fatiguing the glute muscles. This is what gets us the bum, the lifted bum. Squeeze, 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 and release. Release the ball, bring it to the right hand and stretch through the left leg. Get that nice hamstring stretch. Release that off. Bring the left knee over the right. Lower down onto the back of the shoulders. Maybe take the ball with you as you roll that arm out, finding your supine twist. Release and breathe. That was a challenging glute isolating exercise, glute isolating flow. And we are now going to release that off from the glutes. That was a lot of work for the bottom and the core. But to be honest, it's a full body flow because we are also using our upper body by squeezing into the balls and squeezing into the glutes and the core. Okay, coming onto the back. Bringing the ball just beside you because you don't need it here. We're going to bring the left ankle in front of the right thigh and lift the right foot off, bringing the hands behind the right thigh just to release that off from the left glute. We have come to the end nearly of our practice today. Short and sweet but effective. And change, just bringing the right ankle in front of the left thigh, just releasing that off. And breathe. And then bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Take a full body stretch, extend the legs, extend the arms. And if you can, stabilizing the shoulders, bringing the arms out in front, curl all the way up. Stretch at the top. You can grab the ball if it's handy and roll. Fall the way down, coming into a forward fold. Maybe just releasing the knees, just so you can get that stretch in the back. Bring the head all the way down. And then curl all the way up. And you are done. Thank you.